Hi, my name is Al from Dive, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, I want to talk about how can you gain the maximum performance, or at least a part of it, by doing something on your system. For this video, I'm actually going to show you how you can overclock your graphics card the easiest way, and literally it's not going to take too much time. And of course, provide you with the step-by-step process, what software, what things do for that software, and how you can maximize the efficiency and performance of your graphics card. So let us start. So if we just head over to our browser here, as you can see, and I went to the MSI.com, MSI.com/landing/afterburner dash graphics cards right here. This is the main site. Links would be on the article that I'm writing for this video, and of course the description or comment section down below. So now we have MSI Afterburner. What we can do, click download Afterburner. Now, even though it says MSI, this software actually accommodates literally every single application or literally every single brand of graphics. As long as you have an actual dedicated graphics card, it works. Doesn't matter what it is, even though it's made by MSI. Again, literally the only software that literally 99% of the people use for overclocking is this application. So right here, we got to download. So what I'm gonna do is drag the downloads to our desktop, and we can safely exit out of that website. Now this is MSI Afterburner. What I want you to do is, of course, drag it out, and you're going to be receiving a .setup file, .exe file. What you can do here is run as admin, press OK, press next, I accept, and we just go over this. Now, even though you can install Reboot Tuner, that is for you to be able to see certain FPS whatsoever on the game. It's kind of like an overlay in a way, but we're just talking about overclocking here. So I'm not going to install that. I don't need any extra softwares in my computer. Press next, press next, press install. It's going to install. Now that it is done downloading or installing, we can just uncheck the show readme and we can click on finish. Run MSI Afterburner is checked, and this is how it looks like. Now, depending on the version that you downloaded, if I'm not mistaken, when I downloaded this a year ago, it looked a little different. So the UI might look a little different. So just to make sure we are all on the same path, we can go over the settings, the gear on the left or wherever yours is placed, user interface, and then we can go and click the skin composition mode layered with color key. Cool. That's cool. And of course, we use the MSI Mystic Afterburner skin by Drerex Design because this is the theme. We can just press OK on that. And cool. Hey, this is your main GUI or GUI. And now we can delete these two files, the installer and the zip file. And there are a few things that I want you to understand before doing this. So we have to consider three things. The warranty of your graphics card. Now, the thing is, if you start overclocking, you messed up your graphics card by overclocking, which we're not going to be able to do because I'll tell you why later. But for this one, if you manage to, in I don't know what way, you destroy your graphics card with overclocking, then it's not going to be covered by warranty. Second one is stability. Now, if you didn't overclock right, let's say you did so low of a voltage with super high hertz for the core clock and memory clock, then yeah, stability might arise at a certain power limit. You play a heavier duty game that you usually play, and then it hits the solid 100% of graphics card. Now it's unstable because your voltage is finicky. It might crash your system, but just crash your system. No worries, your graphics card will not die. The next one, of course, would be the increased temperature and power consumption, which is very, very, very possible. Because of course, the higher the processing speed of something, the more temperatures occurs, and of course, more consumption to the power. And that we know of that, we're ready to overclock. Now, there's a lot of different settings here. You can see the GPU clock, core clock, and memory clock. Of course, we have the voltage control or the core voltage. We have the fan speed right here, and we also have the power limits. Cool. Now, power limits usually 100%. For voltage, usually you cannot adjust. That's locked, and I would not suggest for you to unlock that unless you know what you're doing. And I don't suggest for you to just bump all these up to 1000 because that's going to insta crash your system. Great. Now, there are some few things here. The first thing that we want to do, power limit and temp limit, max those out. Doesn't matter, max those out. This is my graphics card. This is my driver right now. And yeah, we can now gradually increase the core clock. You can also undervolt, but that's going to lower down your system performance. Also lower temperature and lower power consumption. But what we want here is more power. So we're going to increase this. Now, I already know I can do 1 plus 100 for both. So I can just type those in, press check, instant boost in performance, as you can see. Instant boost. Now, if I just suddenly set this to 150, it might crash my system in recording. I hope not. Still working because I'm not playing a game. Now, honestly, if I'm not recording right now, what I'm going to suggest for you to do is open up a gaming software, like an actual game running in the background. So I also suggest using one of those website that allows you to view a certain capacity of your system and kind of like, what do you call this, over shroud your computer with processes, especially graphics performance, so that it's always on 100%, so you know if your system is stable with your overclock applied. But honestly, what I want you to do is simply launch a game, a heavy game, one that you usually play, or at least one that is, you know, AAA games such as Metro Exodus with ray tracing, or Fortnite on maximum settings. Make sure it's on max settings so you can use all your graphics power, and that's where you overclock. Now, if you'll know if your system is unstable, if you, let's say, hey, I did this 150 and 150 overclock, I run my game, after 5 minutes it crashes. That's instability. Your whole system might also crash. So what I also suggest for you to do while you are overclocking, you do not click this Windows startup. So it doesn't reapply the same graphics, graphics overclock that you've done on the past reboot. Just don't do it. Don't apply it on the startup. Always only do this once you are stable enough, or you know that everything is working fine. So that reapplies it every time you boot up your computer. But for this time, we're not going to do that yet. Now, if you don't, let's say me, I don't have time for this. I don't have time to check the increments, check everything, fan speed, whatsoever. I want everything to be automatic. Well, you're lucky for that case because MSI Afterburner has that tool right here with a magnifying tool and a C. It says overclocking scanner. Now, performs automated graphics card overclock and stability testing means of NVIDIA OC scanner. Although this kind of works on AMD graphics cards, I would still suggest using your manual arms to adjust these core clocks limits whatsoever while playing the game if you're not using an NVIDIA graphics card. But for NVIDIA graphics card users, these things are so accurate. So I am in need to shut down the recording here once it starts, and then I'll be right back. But basically what we're going to do here is we're going to press the overclocking scanner. We're going to click on scan. It'll start its own thing. I'm going to stop it right now because I'm still recording. Basically do this. What I want you to do is literally close browsers, close everything. I want you to go to your task manager and then just start closing everything that you have present on here. So as you can see right now, I have Adobe programs open, MSI, OBS, or actually not MSI, don't close that one. Google, whatsoever, anything that uses graphics power, even turn off your second monitor actually, or whatsoever before you click the scan. But I'm gonna quickly and swiftly put this back to 0, press check on here. 0, check, cool. I'm gonna exit out of OBS. I'm gonna check out exit out of everything. I'm gonna start clicking the scan, and I'm gonna show you exactly what I run into and what performance it'll give me. I'll be right back. All right, so that took me quite a while. It took me around 24 minutes. So I was playing the guitar. As you can see, I have the guitar there now. But as you can see, I got stuck into 99%. Now, don't be scared. It's probably just a UI bug. But yeah, here, if you can press the scan button again, that's kind of like the indicator that it is done. You're good to go. And as you can see, I can just press X on there now. And it has already imported its own curve and the maximum kind of stable memory clock that I can have with it. Now if I just press check here, boom, I am done, good to go. Now I am 100% trusting, putting my faith into this MSI Afterburner application with its own overclocking because I've already tried it before. I've used it multiple times. Um, but I also did my manual thing when I was doing tutorials like this on my own YouTube channel, which I still kind of do. But yeah, I'm gonna save this now to the number one slot. That is how you save it. Now, as you can see, the one slot right here is now pressable and a little more brighter and looking. Now, I also want it to start whenever I start Windows, so I'm just gonna press the Windows button, save it again, lock it out, boom, I'm done. And the thing here is whatever you do with the temp limit, it's always gonna be back to 83. I don't know if it's a bug or it's like a mechanism just to make sure that the temperature is always going to be nice and good. Now, the fan speed, I didn't even bother to do anything with it. I just let the program run, do its own thing, and just press minus now. My only use for this application is so that I can have a boost in performance in the games that I play. I'm just going to press minus and I'm good. As you can see, I changed my wallpaper, not really, but I turned off wallpaper engine because that uses graphics card. And of course, whenever you're doing that overclock automatic scanner, you always want it to be by itself only and nothing else. But yeah, that will be it for this video. That is how you can literally, swiftly, quickly overclock your graphics card so you can gain substantial boost in performance on the games that you play and even in editing when you render and whatsoever. But that's all for me. Again, my name is Alan Avila from Hawk Dive, and I'll see you guys in the next Hawk Dive video. Check us out over at TikTok, Twitter, and our YouTube shorts in this because that has its own content. Yeah, goodbye and have a nice day.